अभी हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे अपना MCS-203 ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का ब्लॉक 3 का यूनिट 2। यूनिट 1 लास्ट हम कर लिए थे, अभी यूनिट 2। तो यूनिट 2 में क्या है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। इसमें हिस्ट्री ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग कंप्यूटिंग, वर्क स्टेशन, वर्ल्ड वाइड स्केल distributed computing and the internet, distributed system, key feature and advantages of a distributed system, design goals of distributed system, design issue involving distributed system where naming, communication, software structure, workload allocations, consistency maintained, Lamport scheme of ordering an event, and distributed system structure, mutual execution in distributed system, remote procedure calls, अदर मिडिलवेयर टेक्नोलॉजीज। ओके, तो अभी हम इसको पूरा पीडीएफ तो नहीं पढ़ सकते, तो इसका समराइज भी वाला ही पढ़ेंगे, एटलीस्ट एग्जाम्पल से हमको समझ में आने लगे। मिनी कंप्यूटर्स एंड वर्क स्टेशन। 1 सेकेंड। ओके, so mini computers and workstation simplified version. Mini computers came with time sharing OS, allowing many users to use one machine as if each had their own. Mini computers came with time sharing, allowing many users to use one machine and if each has their own. Problem क्या है, microcomputers were slower than mainframes, could not handle too many users. Okay, solution: buy one microcomputer instead of big mainframe. This idea led to a future where each user could have their own small computer called a workstation. Workstation में क्या बोल रहा है, this idea led to a future where each user could have their own small computer called workstation. Birth of workstation. In 1970, Xerox PARC, Palo Alto Research Center, built the first workstation called Alto. Alto introduced key ideas. Personal computer is a workstation. Bitmap displays, graphical screens, and mouse. Other invention from PARC: Ethernet from local network, Windows and icon Spire, Apple Lisa, and the XTFS first file server, first print server, क्या है, ग्राफेविन अर्ली मैसेजिंग प्लस लॉगिन सिस्टम। ओके, स्मॉल टॉक, फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड लैंग्वेज, मॉनिटर कंडीशन वेरिएबल्स क्रिएटेड इन मेसा लैंग्वेज। ओके, वर्क स्टेशन एंड लैंग्वेज. What the book says means the PDF, what the PDF exactly says. PARC wanted to replace big shared computer with individual computer for each user called workstation. Workstation means the big shared computer with individual, मतलब ये नहीं है, individual computer for each is called workstation, where individual person have their personal or everyone has their each computer. Instead of buying big one machine for everyone, buy a small machine. This was cheaper in the long run. The more you make, the cheaper each one gets, like mass production. Example: think about smartphone today. Imagine if you have one big phone and was shared by a whole city. That is like old share computer. Now everyone has their own phone. This is cheaper and more convenient. When phones are made in large number, the cost per phone drops, just like workstation. Distributed system and internet. What the book says: at the same time, the US Department of Defense built a global computer network. Okay, so at the same time, the US Department of Defense built a global computer network so that research center and data could be spread out, not all in one place. This made the system safer. If one place is destroyed, others still work. This is called fault tolerance through replication. Real life example: think of a Google server. If one data center goes down due to power failure or disaster, your email and YouTube still works. Why? Because Google store the same data in multiple locations, just like the US wanted for defense. Or imagine you have saved your files on Google Drive. If your computer crashes, your files are still safe. online. This is called distributed computing in action. What is distributed system? A distributed system is a group of computer. A distributed system is a group of computer connected by a network. By their work together as if they are one big system. So, a distributed system is a group of computer where a distributed system is a group of computer connected by a network, but they work together as if they are one big screen. Each computer has its own memory, its own processor, its own part of operating system. But they coordinate together to do tasks, share resources, and appear to users as a single system. Distributed versus network operating system feature. Distributed system structure में आ रहा है. One OS run across all machine. Distributed means one operating system runs across the machine, and network OS is each machine runs its own OS. Coordination is highly coordinated like big system, right? Or distributed में. And the network OS में limited coordination. Task execution. एनी टास्क कैन रन ऑन एनी मशीन. ठीक है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का बात करें तो एनी टास्क कैन रन ऑन एनी मशीन, बट टास्क रन ओनली ऑन लोकल मशीन इन टर्म ऑफ नेटवर्क ओएस. Example for distributor like Google search system, and network OS is sharing files between two PCs or LAN. Real life example, Amazon or Google Cloud. Like imagine Amazon has 100 servers around the world. When you upload a file, process a payment, search for a product, right? You don't know which service is which service is doing the work. It feels like one big screen. That's distributed system. One server may handle your login, another handles protect search, another handles payment, but it feels like one seamless service. Key benefits. Powerful. Many systems work together. Powerful because the many system works together. Reliable. If one fails, other continue work. Flexible. Tasks move between machines. Here is a simple and short summary of the key feature, advantages and disadvantages of distributed system along with the real life connection, right? So, key feature of distributed system: loosely coupled, autonomous nodes, communication via software. This is the key feature. So, the loosely coupled means computers are connected via network, not physically. Computers connected by network, not physically. Remote access is slower than local access. Okay, fine. So, the remote access is slower than local access. Autonomous nodes. Each computer manages its resources independently. Communication via software. Computers communicate only by sending messages over the network. Advantages are centralized system, cheaper and better performance, more total computing power, multiple machines work in parallel. Support distribution app like Google, Facebook, more reliable. If one system fails, other continues. Easier to expand, add new system anytime. Support share, use ownership. Advantages of isolated PCs. So, share resources like printers, files, software, communication between users. Better performance and flexibility. Easier to manage than maintaining many separate PCs. Disadvantages: network delays, slower data transfer compared to local. So, the network sometimes delays, so latency. And slower data transfer compared to local. Limited total bandwidth, depends on network reliability. If networks fail, system breaks. Security risk, more access pointer, more vulnerability. फिर है software complexity, needs special code for message passing, complex error handling for control. Real life example for this: imagine college with a lab of 50 computers. Distributed system, all systems share file, printers and app works together like a big screen. And isolated PCs, each computer works alone, no sharing, harder to manage and update. Design goals of distributed system. Distributed system aims to make a group of connected computers act like a single system. Distributed system aim to make a group of connected computers act like a single system. To work efficiently, they must meet these 5 important goals. To work efficiently, they must meet these 6 important goals. Like first, concurrency, meaning multiple tasks happening at the same time. Why it matters? If a server handles only one user at a time, it becomes slow. So concurrency helps multiple user access service at once. Real life example like Google search, million of users can search at the same time without delay. So the next one is scalability, meaning क्या है इसका? The system should work well even as more user data or devices are added. Scalability होना चाहिए. Even if the क्या बोले in this the system should work even as more user data devices are added. Why it matters? As a company or system grows, it should slow down or need a full redesign. Example like YouTube handles videos from creator all over the world. It can handle more user because it's scalable. Okay, YouTube handles videos from creators all over the India. It can handle more users easily because it's scalable. Openness, meaning the system should support one standard and allow future upgrades. ठीक है, एक स्टैंडर्ड है ये फॉलो करता है. The system should support one standard and allow future upgrades. Why it matter? It allows developer from different places to build apps that work together. Real life example can be using Google Docs on any browser OS. It works because it based on the open protocol like HTTP. Fault tolerance, the system should still work even if some parts failed. Why is matter? In large systems, some failure is common, but the system must continue running. In large systems, some failure is common. This can be happen anytime. ठीक है, but the system must continue running. Real life example for this is if your Gmail service crashes, your emails are still safe because they are backup and served from other server. Two main parts: recovery, availability. Bring back lost data and continue work. Recovery, bring back the lost data and continue work. Availability, keep the system running even during failure. Okay. Privacy and authentication का क्या है? Privacy, meaning only the right people can access the system. Only the right people can access the system and the system knows who is using it. Why is matter? Prevent hackers and ensure only verified users access data. Real life example for this like logging into your bank account with OTP and password. This is authentication and privacy. ठीक है, privacy and authentication का simple. What is privacy? Making sure that only the intended receiver can read the message. Goal, to prevent others secretly listening to or reading your data. Example, when you buy something online using a credit card, you want only the website server you see your card number, not hackers or other users. This is under privacy. Now authentication, meaning making sure that the system knows who is communicating. Why is it important? So that the client knows it is taking to the real server, so that server knows who the user is, the control access. For client users, client need to trust the server. Example, you must make sure you are really talking to Amazon server, not a fake site pretending to be Amazon. For server need to verify who the user is to allow and deny access to things like files, money and data. Example, a bank server must confirm it's really you before showing your data, right? For server, the bank server must confirm it is you before showing your bank account. A simple Unix login checks username and password, but it can be insecure if someone is watching the network. How to achieve both privacy and authentication? The only proper way is in distributed system. Cryptography, it hides data from the others. How to achieve the both privacy and authentication? The only proper way to in distributed system cryptography, it hides data from other. It confirm identity. Quick summary क्या है? Privacy keeps data safe from others. And example, hiding credit card during payment. Authentication confirms identity to user and server. Logging into your bank or Amazon safely. How it is done? Using cryptography, encryption plus secure login protocols. ट्रांसपेरेंसी में क्या है, द यूजर शुड फील लाइक अ सिंगल सिस्टम इवन इट इज मेड ऑफ मैनी मशीन. The user should feel like a single machine even it is made of many machine. Why is matter? User don't want to know which server is doing what. It should be easy to use. Real life example, when you upload a photo to Facebook you don't care where or how to store it, just work. Quick revision for this: concurrency handles many user concurrency handle many users or tasks at once. An example like Google search. Scalability: grow the more user data. YouTube handling billions of videos, millions of videos. Openness: support standard and upgrades. Google Docs and any OS browser. Fault tolerance: work even if the paths fail. Gmail remains available even the server is here. Privacy and auth: protect data, verify users. Bank login with OTP and password. Transparency: look like one system to the user. One system to the user. Facebook uploads without showing servers, right? Design issue in distributed system. Distributed system face several design challenges. It took the most important ones. Naming, what is it? Giving names to resources like file server is in a network. Example, this is the name. It needs to be turned into an IP address to find the server. Identifier, the computer version of a name like IP address plus port number. Name resolution, turning a name into identifier done by DNS like a phone. Turning a name into identifier done by a DNS like a phone book of the internet. ठीक है, ये भी ठीक है. Communication, what is it? Making different procedures talk to each other. How is work? Through messages, through remote messages, through remote method invocation, RMI. The program can call a function or another machine. Software structure, how we organize the software part of the system. Goal: make the system modular, open and easy to expand. Structure type. Monolithic. Type monolithic, one big block of code. Description: monolithic में आ रहा है one big block of code, hard to update or understand. Modular, code is split into smaller parts, modules. Easy to maintain, modular, easy to maintain. Layer, code is split into layer, each layer handles a specific task. Workload allocation, load balancing, distributed takes evenly across machine to take the best use of resources. Two main models like processors pool, ideal workstation. All computers are in a pool and use as needed. No many users and machine. Users have their own computer when ideal others can use for task. Process migration. When a user comes back from break and finds someone else program on their PC, the system must move the process somewhere else quickly. Consistency maintain, making sure that data and actions stay consistent across the system. 4 key consistency, automatic, yes, क्या था? Make sure the data and actions stay consistent across the system. Four key types of consistency, type and their meaning. तो कंसिस्टेंसी का मेंटेन का क्या है? ऑटोमेसिटी, coherence, fail consistency, clock consistency. All step of a process either complete fully or don't happen at all, like ATM transaction. Coherence, if data is copied to multiple places, keep all places updated. If system must handle failures, correct it to failures type. Fail, stop, a node, just stop working. A not give a wrong answer. Clock consistency, making sure time is synced all the machines, important for ordering event correctly. Quick summary: naming, identifying resources and resolving name using DNS. Communication, sending message or remote method between processors. Software structure, choosing between monolithic, modular, layer or microkernel system. Work allocation, balancing using balancing load using processor pool or ideal workstation model. Consistency, ensuring correct data and actions using automaticity. Coherence. Okay, next, remote procedure calls. What is RPC? Remote procedure call is a technique used in distributed system that allows a program to execute a procedure on other computer as if it were a local function. The key feature of RPC is that the calling all the call procedure can be different system connected by a network. Remote procedure. Programmers do not need to handle low-level networking code. RPC improves portability. फिर क्या है interportability और flexibility. Works across multiple platform. Works across different systems. The application can be spread across the several system. How RPC work? RPC works similar to the normal function but happens across system. When the client calls a RCP function, request is sent to the server. The client process wait block until it gets reply or timeout. The server receives the request and performs the procedure. A response is sent back to the client. The client receives the result and continues execution. Analogy like a library to ask information. You call, ask a question, wait for a reply and then continue your work. Remote procedure calling mechanism. Each remote procedure RCP is unique, identified by a triple program number identifies a group of level procedure. Version number allow multiple versions of a program to exist. Procedure number identifies the specific function within the program. This helps in managing multiple procedures and version efficiently in a distribution environment. Implementation of RPC. RPC can be implemented in two ways: as a part of large portability system by programmers writing their own RPCs using the tool. Consideration of using suitable scenarios best for client server application where the client sends a request and wait for the response before continuing. Not suitable for asynchronous communication. Peer-to-peer model, distributed object-oriented system. Blocking nature RPC is a synchronous. The client waits for a reply. Failure handling needs mechanism like timeout, retires, and redirection of recovery. Complexity. More advanced RPC system reduce complexity for developers. Network load. RPC block nature prevent overload but retries many increases traffic. Routing. Uses static routing tables created at compile time, not ideal for dynamic load balancing. Support. Platform support. RPC tools exist for Windows, Unix, Macs, and VMS, etc. Framework implemented in DCE, distributed computing environment, on and ONC means open network computing. RPC simplifies client-server communication in distributed system by hiding network complexities. It is synchronous meaning client waits for the server's response. Care must be taken regarding failure, network congestion, and lack of dynamic routing. Ideal for application where a request response pattern fits the design. Okay. नाउ लिमिटेशन ऑफ आरपीसी में क्या हो रहा है इनकम्पैटिबिलिटी मतलब डिफरेंट आरपीसी सिस्टम में नॉट वर्क टुगेदर ठीक है मे नॉट वर्क टुगेदर इनकम्पैटिबिलिटी फिर you may get locked in to one vendor, less flexibility. Lack of a standard. No single universal standard. Feature vary between implementations. Some support async calls, some don't. Limited portability. May not support all operating system, file system, or network protocols. Bundled or separate. Some RPC are only available with an OS. Can't be used alone. Training required. RPC is complex, especially the synchronization type. Even experienced programmers need training. Other middleware technologies like ORB, Object Request Broker, it is Corba calls remote object instead of functions. DCE, distributed computing environment. Standard RPC system developed by Open Group MOM, message oriented middleware. Uses message not functions called asynchronous communication. COM or DCOM, Microsoft RPC style stack of Windows text distributed app. Transactions processing monitor. Ensure reliable consistent transaction. In distributed apps, three-tier architecture, separate apps into presentation, logic, and database layer. One-line summary. RPC has limitation like incompatibility and complexity. Alternative like ORB, DCE, and MOM offer different ways to build distributed system. Summary of distributed system. At last, here is the summary. So, summary of a distributed operating system. What is distributed operating system? It hides the fact that resources like files, memory, CPU are spread across multiple computers. It makes everything look like big computer to the user. It manages communication, coordination, and security between computers over a network. Service provided by distributed OS. Just like normal operating system, a distributed OS also manages CPU uses which program run and when manages all RAM and disk space, control access to resource like files, printer, etc. Built-in DOS, these must be managed across multiple computers, not just one. Challenges is distributed system security. Each computer might have different rules and permission. Coordination keeps everything in sync across different machines is difficult. No single owner. In big networks, many people manage different computers, so policies may differ. Types of work in distributed system, fine grinded tasks, small pieces of work that can be done in parallel. Problem if the task is too small, communication overhead becomes too high. Cross chain tasks, bigger tasks that take more times and can be handled independently. Problem if the task is too big, you can't split to across many computers, reducing speed. So balance is important. Tasks should be not too small, not too big. Topics cover in this feature of architecture, feature and architecture of distributed OS. Important algorithm use distributed consider share memory RPC. One line conclusion. A distributed operating system makes multiple computers work together as if they were one, हैंडलिंग सिक्योरिटी रिसोर्सेज मैनेजमेंट एंड टास्क डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इफिशिएंटली. एक बार RPC इसको एक बार फिर से देख लेते हैं. हाँ, RPC में क्या बोल रहा है? रिमोट प्रोसीजर कॉल. रिमोट प्रोसीजर कॉल इज अ टेक्निक यूज्ड इन डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड सिस्टम. डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड सिस्टम में ये टेक्निक यूज होता है. वो क्या करता है? दैट अलाउ एज अ प्रोग्राम, मतलब दैट अलाउज क्लाइंट टू एग्जीक्यूट द प्रोसीजर ऑन अनदर कंप्यूटर सर्वर. RPC रिमोट प्रोसीजर कॉल्स ये क्या करता है? इट इज़ अ टेक्निक यूज्ड इन डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड सिस्टम दैट अलाउ प्रोग्राम, मतलब दैट अलाउ क्लाइंट टू एग्जीक्यूट एंड प्रोसीजर on another computer like server as if it were a local function. The key feature of RPC the key feature of RPC is that the calling and the called procedure can be different system connected by a network. Correct? Programmers do not need to handle low-level networking code. RPC abstract the communication details. RCP क्या इम्प्रूव करता है? पोर्टेबिलिटी, इंटरप्रेटिबिलिटी एंड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी. पोर्टेबिलिटी का मतलब वर्क्स कहीं से भी काम कर सकते हैं, वर्क अक्रॉस मल्टीपल प्लेटफॉर्म. और इंटरप्रेटिबिलिटी का मतलब होता है कि वर्क्स अक्रॉस डिफरेंट सिस्टम में डिफरेंट अक्रॉस द मेनी प्लेटफॉर्म. फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी में द एप्लीकेशन कैन बी स्प्रेड अक्रॉस सर्वल मशीन एंड OS. फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है कैसे वर्क करता है. ये हो गया. बस दैट इज इट फॉर यूनिट 3. सॉरी यूनिट 2, ये यूनिट 2 था।